Peace, family. This is Lion with another news and commentary. This article is from AL.com. A man killed by police in Riverchase Galleria shooting now identified SBI takeover probe. There's been, before I read this article, I'm going to tell you what happened. The incident in Alabama at a mall when a gunman opened fire, shot a 12-year-old and an 18-year-old, and then I guess an ununiformed police officer shot and killed the 21-year-old. So I'm gonna go ahead, and this is the situation happened on Black Friday, which was like early yesterday morning. So I'm gonna go ahead, and here's the article. The man shot to death by Hoover police at a Riverchase Galleria has now been publicly identified. The Jefferson County Coroner's Office identified the slain suspect as Emantic Fitzgerald Bradford Jr. He was 21 and lived in Hueytown. Friends and family call him EJ. Also, Friday evening, Jefferson County District Attorney Mike Anderton announced the SBI will take over the probe from the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office after learning a cousin of Sheriff-elect Mark Petway's wife is a potential witness in the case. The shooting happened while thousands were getting an early start at the Galleria, the largest mall in Alabama and a popular Black Friday destination for shoppers from around the state. The gunfire inside the mall sent shoppers scurrying for cover, and city officials described the scene as chaotic. An 18-year-old male was shot and was rushed to the UAB Hospital's trauma center, where he was in serious condition. A 12-year-old girl was also shot and wounded. Bradford, shot by Hoover police, was pronounced dead on the scene at 10:11 p.m. A 12-year-old girl remains hospitalized at Children's of Alabama. Hoover Fire treated 8 other people for injuries unrelated to the gunfire, said Hoover Fire Captain Scott West. Of those 8, 6 were transported to the hospital. Some injuries were from falls while trying to escape the mall, and others were medical calls. The severity of those injuries wasn't available. Hoover Police Captain Greg Rector said the shooting happened at 9:52 p.m. We received a call of shots fired outside of foot action. We already had multiple officers working at the mall for traffic control and police present inside, he said. Early information, he said, is that 2 adult males, one of them 18 years old, got into a physical altercation in the mall area, and at least one of those individuals changed gunfire with the other. Rector said the 18-year-old was struck. He was taken to UAB with at least 1 wound. We believe he is in serious condition. After the initial gunfire, Rector said the person who shot the 18-year-old, now identified as Bradford, was fleeing the area when he was confronted by 2 Hoover police officers who were in uniform. One of our officers did engage that individual and shot him, Rector said. He was dead on the scene. The Hoover police officer actually was running to the scene. He heard gunshots. He was obviously very near the scene. He was actually shot and killed the person who injured the other person, Rector said. He said they do not know what started the initial fight. We know they got into a physical altercation. We know the deceased was armed with a handgun, and we know he shot the person who was transported to UAB, Rector says. The 12-year-old bystander was also hit, but police aren't sure at what point she was shot. Her mother discussed at length on Facebook the details of her daughter's ordeal. At least several bystanders took photos and videos of the incident inside the mall, and those photos, which included a graphic picture of the dead man, quickly made the rounds on social media. Friends of his mother and other family members were pleading for the sharing of the images to stop. Rector said police had a solid protection plan for the Galleria beginning Thanksgiving night, as they do every year. This is the biggest shopping day for us, as it is for everybody across the country. Rector said we always gear up for extra manpower starting on Thanksgiving afternoon. We do that throughout Christmas. Obviously, our officers were well trained, and they go through different types of training throughout the year, and they always do a good job responding, he said. We were fortunate enough to have 2 officers near an active shooting scene, and those officers rushed to the scene and encountered an individual who just shot someone. So we were fortunate that Hoover officer was where he needed to be, and we believe he prevented the further injuries. Jefferson County District Attorney Danny Carr responded to the scene. The Jefferson County Sheriff's Office was asked to lead the investigation into the officer-involved shooting. We will be looking at every possible means to gather the evidence of what happened, Rector said. We wanted to paint a very clear picture of what happened tonight. We have been working this mall for over 20 years with additional officers inside and outside. Unfortunately, this took place tonight here. Police Chief Nick Durzis said, "I'm very, very proud of the Hoover police officers who were on the scene. Thank God we have our officers very close. They heard the gunfire, they engaged the subject, and they took out the threat," Durzis says. That threat could have materialized into a lot of more people being injured. Thank goodness that did not happen. The district attorney said he received a call shortly before 12:30 p.m. Friday informing him of a potential conflict with the sheriff's office investigation the case. It was explained to me that a potential witness in the case was at a gallery at the time of the shooting, saw what happened. Anderton said in a prepared statement, after talking with all law enforcement agencies involved, Anderton requests the SBI be brought in to the take over all related investigations, including the officer-involved aspect, as well as the shootings of the other victims. This will avoid parallel investigation involving the same witnesses and evidence, he said. Anderton said he requests should not suggest that the members of the Jefferson County Sheriff's Office are incapable or untrustworthy in handling the matter. I have worked for the last 34 years with the JCSO investigators, and I personally have absolute confidence in their ability and desire to conduct a fair investigation. But an investigation of this sort takes time. The potential of the conclusion of this investigation coming during the term of the sheriff-elect, a cousin of a potential major witness in this investigation, could lead the public to question its fairness. This is what I see to avoid. So, there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. We have a situation, there's been an officer-involved shooting. When you have a 21-year-old was shot and killed by, a police officer after he shot a 12-year-old and an 18-year-old inside a mall. Now, you notice that a lot of people don't know what caused the fight. From the get-go, we don't know who shot first, and this is what people need to understand, and people need to be very, very careful what they said. Now, there's been a shootout. Look like it's been a shootout between an 18-year-old and a 21-year-old. And remember, the 21-year-old used to be in the military. He's an ex-military man. You see that's his picture. They're supposed to be suspect. Emantic Fitzgerald Bradford Jr, 21. Now, he used to be an ex-army, ex-military. Now, obviously, we don't know who started what. We don't know if the 18-year-old started shooting and he shot him back in self-defense. We really don't know. But according to this article, he said that he shot the 18-year-old after a fight between them two. Then I guess a 12-year-old bystander was hit accidentally. I guess she, mistakenly got hit. So we now know that we really basically showing that it was two individuals, an 18-year-old and a 21-year-old. Now, police shot the 21-year-old after he was fleeing the scene. Now, we don't even know who shot first. And people need to be careful of this article. Now, did the 21-year-old Emantic Fitzgerald Emantic Fitzgerald Bradford Jr. shot first? Possibly. Or did the 18-year-old man shot first? We really don't know. So, at the end of the day, he was killed. They say he had a gun. He was killed. But if I'm not mistaken, does Alabama has and this is the question mark I would like to ask on this one. And if I was wrong, leave a comment. But is Alabama has also a open carry state. I might be wrong, but does Alabama have an open carry state and stand your ground? So my point is that we don't really know what really happened. They claim that it was the 21-year-old was shot an 18-year-old, and then I guess and then a bullet hit a 12-year-old girl. But we really don't know what started the fight. We really don't know who shot first. The young man, a 21-year-old, Emantic probably did that in self-defense. We really don't know. Because I know Alabama does have a stand your ground law, but I've got a feeling that also Alabama has an open carry too. I gotta find out. But at the end of the day, my point is that we really don't know who started the fight. We really don't know who shot first. You know, obviously they said it was Emantic Fitzgerald Bradford shot the 18-year-old. We don't know if it's in self-defense or if it's random. So, you know, with this article, we gotta be very, very careful of how because they said it was a witness who I guess is the wife of a political person, and I guess they don't. That's why they put the SBI investigating this, because they don't want the witness who's the wife of a public official to get involved in anything. So tell me what you think about this article. Share this video. Subscribe my YouTube channel. Subscribe my reaction channel. And subscribe my Black Johnson channel for all the news and commentary. With that being said, this is Lions Den signing off. Deuces.